how to replace an igniter on a pellet grill. If you're watching this video, you're probably dealing with an igniter that's burnt out. But before you go and buy the original metal tube ignition rod, let's check out the results from this test. So we did a little test to see how much faster an igniter made out of silicon nitride would be compared to your standard metal tube ignition rod. Heat Founders sells all kinds of igniters for all different brands of pellet grills. I know for a fact that they sell them for Traeger and Pit Boss. You have a Pit Boss and purchase an igniter right there. And these igniters also fit in any Louisiana grills too. I also know that some of the newer Pit Boss models currently have a Heat Founder igniter in them. We made sure that the fire pot was clean and there was nothing in it from the start. We started each test on smoke, and at the same time we hit a stopwatch so we could get an accurate time when we started to see some flames. The original ignition rod, it took around 5 minutes before we started to see some fire. But man, did I have to deal with a ton of white smoke during that startup procedure. After it was all lit up, we went immediately into the shutdown mode. Unplug that pellet grill, 8 screws that have to turn it left or breaks free so you can get the bottom cover that you're the old one. Rubber wire plug and attack in the pellet grill. Obviously I followed the same for the new silicon nitride igniter. But this igniter was red hot almost immediately. But the most impressive part about this test was that those pellets lit in about 2 minutes. And to be honest, if a few of those pellets would have landed on the igniter instead of going to the far end of that fire pot, it would have lit up even quicker. Let's just take a handful of pellets and throw it right above that igniter and see how fast it takes for this to light up. Our stopwatch is set. Turn it on and turn it on. I can already smell it starting to smoke. Getting a little bit more buildup. There we are. Just over a minute. Tearing up a little bit, but obviously that's tears of joy. Shut her back down and go into the cool down cycle. I said earlier, is it worth getting a silicon nitride ignition? Yeah, it is. The proof's in the pudding. Another bonus is that they're also rated for 100,000 ignitions. You can find out more information about Heat Founders igniters. And then you can decide, do you want an igniter that takes 5 minutes or an igniter that takes 2 or less? Well, I suppose that's all I got.